BSF recovery team here with another quick tech tip. This one involves replacing an axle U-joint. Why? Well, because we have one in the wrecker here that's stiff and we want to replace it before we have to out on the trail. Why did this greasable U-joint freeze up on us after only a couple years? Well, honestly, lack of maintenance. If you put a greasable U-joint in, be sure and grease them often. As you all know, replacing a U-joint starts with removing the clips. Then you have to push the caps out. Sometimes a tool like this can be used, but in this case the Dana 60 caps are larger than the hole that we have here. So we have to use the hammer and vise method. Be careful where you pound. So you don't hurt the yoke. Oh, look at that. That is dry. My own fault. So what happens when you get mud and water in there and you let them sit, like over the winter? Before we put the new U-joint in, a couple of things I like to do. First, I like to clean off this surface area where the clips go with a file. And sometimes, in the process of pounding it apart, you end up creating a burr. It'll keep the clip from seating all the way in. And then, I also like to clean up the part of the yoke where the cap presses in. Get rid of all that rust so the cap will press in there nice and easy. Now, with our yokes cleaned up, we can press the new U-joint and caps together. Being careful not to drop a needle out of place while we do it. As you can see, if you cleaned up the yoke, the cap presses in fairly easy. And then the clip will slide into place easy also. I like to put the caps in one at a time, making sure that I don't knock a needle out of place. I also like to use the clip as a gauge all the way around to make sure the groove is fully exposed before I try and snap it into place. This ensures that it seats fully around the cap in the groove like it's supposed to. Sometimes when pushing them together, you can see that the caps are all the way on, but there isn't enough room for the clip. The groove isn't fully exposed yet. This can happen because in the process, sometimes the yoke can actually deflect a little bit along with the cap as you're pushing it in. To fix this, you can take a hammer and a punch and tap it back out a little bit. And then check it again. Once the groove is fully exposed, the clip will snap into place. Now, do you think we're done? Not quite. A couple more things. Occasionally a cap can get misaligned when it's put in, and that'll cause a little bit of binding in the U-joint. So we want to ensure that everything is relieved of stress before we put it back into the truck. To do this, put it in the vise just like you would if you were going to pound the U-joint apart, and give it a few wraps on each yoke. Now we have free movement in the U-joint. The only thing left is to grease it and put it in the truck. This has been a quick tech tip from BSF Recovery Team.